My name is Drake, running real estate here on YouTube. Today we are going to talk about how much money my Airbnb in Fayetteville, Arkansas brought in September 2021. Let's get right into it. In July of this year, I sold my first house. It was my first investment buy. I was determined to move into another rental that I owned in Fayetteville, Arkansas, as the tenant was moving out. During this time, I bounced around from short-term rental to short-term rental, and what I realized is I was spending way too much money. Through this experience, I noticed something. The short-term rentals were terrible, yet I was still paying $100 per night during the work week to stay at these short-term rentals. Some were bug infested, some did not have any lawn maintenance done, and there were even some that didn't have any blinds on the bedroom windows, so the headlights from cars passing by all night consistently woke me up. However, I kept staying because I had no better option. And then it hit me. I had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in an SEC college town with football season starting, 1,400 square feet on a dead-end street. So the real question is, what in the world was I thinking not turning this unit into a short-term rental when the tenant moved out of the long-term stay? From this point on, I did what everyone else would do. I gave up the comfort and the desirability of a single-family rental, and even owning multiple properties, I rented out a loft apartment in my hometown. From there, it was time to go to work. I'd spent a lot of time over the next 2 to 3 weeks prepping the home to be a short-term rental, but the countdown was on. Arkansas's first football game was September 4th, and there was no time to waste prepping. After 2 to 3 brutal weeks of not only running my real estate sales business, but also spending nearly every night flipping this unit, it was ready to go. The next thing was professional photography, professional videography, and actually getting the listing up on Airbnb. And you'll be surprised how much you can separate your listing and your outcome by doing those simple things like having a professional photographer take care of the listing. So what story did the first month's balance sheet tell? The Airbnb absolutely blew my expectations out of the water. Also, for the first time since 2016, the Arkansas football team won the first 3 games of the season during the homestand, and that certainly didn't hurt pricing or bookings in September. Hey, but as they say, luck is a mix of preparation and opportunity. So you made it this far, and if you don't want to actually hear about the numbers as to how much money we brought in, it probably makes sense to leave the video right now. But if you are interested in how much money the single family home brought in on Airbnb, let's get right into the numbers. So it's September in the SEC and the football team's doing great, but please be careful to write this first month off as a fluke, because keep in mind we started from scratch with 0 reviews. It took multiple questions and answer sessions with prospective guests before somebody finally booked, with only the pictures to go off of. Again, no reviews for this first guest. To combat this, we offered up the most competitive rate in the market. My perspective is it is best when you look at the Airbnb market in your subject town that even you as the host would book this Airbnb if you were visiting. That is how much you should skim the market with pricing when you first get started. The first guest stayed until September 5th. We collected $525 from the 3-night stay, and from there, it was off to the races. Next, a 1-night weekday booking brought in $248. A significant non-conference rivalry game with Texas brought in $1,261 the following weekend with a 2-night stay. The guest that paid this much money for the Texas game booked the stay with only 1 review to go off of. The glowing review was the following: beautiful home, great location, you won't regret staying here. So yeah, this person had 9 words to go off of to make a $1,261 decision. The following 2 stays brought in $360 and $873 respectively. At this moment, halfway through the month, we were at $3,267. By all accounts, this was one respectable month. Trying to determine a pricing strategy, I set the rest of the month at $395 per night for the weekend. The catch was, there were no home football games from the middle of the month through the first part of October. I was highly interested to see how the next 3 off weekends in Fayetteville would play out for bookings. Well, one individual answered my question and had the liberty of booking the property from September 19th through October 11th, covering all 3 away football weekends in the process. The reason? Their home was being renovated. The total price for 23 nights? $4,055. The best part? Airbnb prepays. Add it all together, the Fayetteville place brought in a top line revenue of $7,321 in September 2021. Tenants were renting the property at $1,475 per month for a 12-month lease. That means that in our first month, starting with no reviews, we 5x the revenue from a long-term rental to a short-term rental. So businesses don't thrive on top-line revenue. I, as a 3.0 college graduate, can even tell you that an accounting sheet has 2 sides. You have your inflows and your outflows. So what were our expenses with the $7,321? So yes, as an Airbnb owner, you can bring in revenue 2 to 5x what you can on the same dwelling unit as a long-term rental. However, there are more expenses included because you carry the bag for all amenities. The most significant expenses are the management fee and the mortgage payment at the top. The mortgage payment will typically anchor your balance sheet on the expenses side unless you are somebody that is buying Airbnbs in cash. Completely unnecessary for only a few units, but for me, in the interest of having headspace to scale, I have chosen to work with a property manager. That property manager is paid 20%, good on this month for $1,464. Next, biggest expense is the mortgage, coming in at $958. Professional cleaning was $620 for 6 visits, and these are the people that make the whole operation go, and as Kevin Durant said, they are the real MVPs. Property taxes for the unit are $165 per month. The electric bill weighed in at $145, looking at averages. Short-term rental insurance is a slight premium at $108 per month. Shout out to my man Kaysen for the insurance. $70 per month gets you reasonably fast Wi-Fi. Fayetteville City Water and Utilities comes in at $73 per month. And lastly, the gas bill hovers around $29 per month. Now that we've talked about the less fun side of the balance sheet, let's talk about the overall cash flow, more than likely why you clicked on this video in the first place. In September 2021, we achieved $3,689 of cash flow, and our mortgage payment paid off the principal of our mortgage balance by an additional $319. During this time, the property also appreciated slightly and became more desirable on the secondary market due to its short-term rental outperformance. So to reiterate the cash flow number of $3,689, that comes from monthly income of $7,321 of top line revenue and total expenses, everything we went over added together at $3,632. Again, my name is Drake, running real estate here on YouTube. Today we talked about how much cash flow I was able to bring in from a single family short-term rental in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And before I let you go, we're looking to grow the channel. Please like the video if you took something away from it. Drop a comment if you have any questions. And please hit the subscribe button. Until next time, this is Drake running real estate.